Hey guys, welcome back to Chariot Palmistry. My name is Sulab Jain, and in this video we are going to be talking about the energy around the world in the month of October. Now, a lot of you guys must have gone through a very difficult period from August through to September. It's what in previous videos I've referred to as the zombie phase. There have been just a lot of difficult planetary transits and eclipses and silly stuff going on around the world that's flattened everyone's battery out. This difficult period ends on the 4th of October. So the good news is in just a couple more days, you're going to notice everyone getting back to normal, especially you guys, and the world will start to get right again. A lot of the chaos that's been going on will start to subside and you guys will get your mojo back. So that's the first thing I want to talk about in this video. The best news, I suppose, with all of this is that the energy around the world is actually going to be really good until around about the middle of next year. Around about May, June, July. There's a lot more crazy transits and eclipses going on in that period, but for at least the next 8 to 9 months, the world is good. So this is a time where you guys need to start working on your plans and your goals and starting to achieve them. There shouldn't be any more major blips for at least for another 8 or 9 months. Now, in addition to that, I should mention there's a small eclipse in mid-March time frame. That's going to be like a minor blip. The next big blip is mid next year. So we'll prepare you guys for that later on. But for now, things are good. Let's just keep moving forward in life after a crazy couple weeks. Now, the only real energetic change that's going to be happening this month is Jupiter going retrograde. And I think that's going to be happening on around about the 9th of October. Now, for some markets that'll be good and for some that will be bad, and we'll come back and talk about this in just a second. But the general gist that I'm trying to give you guys here is there's no more chaos or no more significant chaos for the next couple months. Now let's talk about the war going on with Lebanon right now. Israel has just expanded the conflict to include the country of Lebanon, and energetically I'm not really seeing anything behind this war, this expansion in the conflict. You see, generally when there's a war, it's normally because either Mercury or Mars get into some sort of conflict with each other. That doesn't seem to be the case right now. I think the reason for that is this war is really just happening because a handful of politicians trying to take advantage of the US election and trying to manipulate their national borders to conform to that. I'm speaking ultra diplomatically here, but I hope you guys can read between the lines on what's happening. It's not energy, it's just political manipulation that's going on. Now, if you're wondering on how this conflict's going to play out with Lebanon and what have you, I can't actually make a prediction on this because there aren't any stars or planets associated with it. What I can say is from the middle of next week, I'm expecting the gold price to go down. And generally when that happens, it's because a conflict tends to settle down and subside. So I'm thinking in about another 8 or 9 days, hopefully that chaos will start to settle down a bit. Now, having said that, the conflict I think everybody should be paying attention to is the one in Africa. Oh, the several in Africa, but the one in Sudan specifically, the civil war going on there. It amazes me that most of the mainstream media isn't covering this, but energetically, that's the one we should all be paying attention to, because it's that conflict that has a potential to expand and engulf all of us. I don't think it will, by the way, but that's the energy center that we should be paying attention to. So if you want to understand the conflicts in the world, look at Africa. If you want to understand the politics of the world, look at Israel and what's going on there. Now, let me talk just very briefly about the US elections, because one prediction I'm going to make this month is that there's going to be a scandal or a crisis that hits either Trump or Biden, possibly both of them, in a very big way. I'm looking at retrograde Jupiter for being the trigger point that creates this. So some point in the next couple days, after about the 9th, expect some bad news there for one of these two candidates and maybe both. Incidentally, I'll also make the prediction that Elon Musk should also have a scandal or crisis that hits him at this point in time. Now, having said that, let's talk about the predictions over the month of September that I made. We'll do a quick review on that. And then we'll talk about the October predictions here. So this is a screenshot from my video from last month, and we'll just go through this very quickly. I was predicting a stock market fall with a lot of volatility. That did end up happening. I think it went down for a week, and then it's gone up a lot for a week after that. I was also predicting a gold price rise to take place, and gold's in a very good place right now. It's close to all-time highs. My prediction on the Bitcoin price fall did not end up happening. If anything, Bitcoin went up a lot, and it's just started to fall over now. Incidentally, I think it's going to continue falling for about the next day or two, and then go up a lot. I also predicted an oil price fall for the first 2 weeks, and that happened. So for those of you keeping score, that puts our predictions correct at 22 out of 32 so far this year. Now let's get into the predictions for the month of October. The first prediction I'm going to make is that I'm predicting a gold price fall to take place in around about the second week of this month. I'm also expecting a Bitcoin price rise to take place. Remember, Jupiter is retrograde on around about the 9th, so the effect of this one should be seen by at least the 12th of October. Now, I believe Bitcoin and all the cryptocurrencies should be tearing upwards in a big way, at least for the next few months. There's no more corrections or downward periods here. I'm also predicting a VIX price rise. Now, the VIX is the stock market volatility index. So when I say the VIX is going to go up, that means volatility is going to go up. I predict that's going to be taking place until the very end of December, maybe the second or third week of December. Now, the thing to pay attention to here is that the US election is on the 5th of November. So if the volatility continues until late December to mid-December, that means there's going to be chaos in the aftermath of the US election. One of my predictions for this particular election is that it's actually going to be rigged this time, and that there's going to be chaos in its aftermath. And I think the astrology around the stock market is kind of predicting this too. And my final prediction is that there should be an oil price fall taking place in the first couple weeks of this month too. Alright guys, that's where I'm going to end this video. Remember, as chaotic as the world seems right now, the energy around it and around individuals is actually really good. So use the next couple months to start achieving some of your life goals, because there really should be no taking a break from your life, at least until the middle of next year. Alright guys, if you have any questions, put them in the comment section below, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.